Okay, so this is my timeline book of world history. The key right here, scientists, contributors to science outlined in blue, philosophers, theologians in red. And I've got the yellows for romanticism, linguistic analysis. I tried to be reversed so they don't get mixed up and didn't have colors. Postmodernism, empiricism, expressionism, positivism, surrealism, pre-Raphaelites, existentialism, and rationalism. I use the highlighters because I thought it's more likely I'm going to have these than colored pens when I'm actually trying to add to this timeline. Okay, so here's the first page right here. It's got Thebes, Anaximander, Pythagoras, Xenophanes, Parmenides, Zeno, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Polykleitos, Euclid, and it's a classical age, and Pythagoras is there. Got Archimedes and Cicero and Lucretius and the cross. Okay. Let me go to the next page, and we have Philo and Ptolemy, Origen, Basil the Great, Gregory of Nazianzus, Gregory of Nyssa, and Augustine in the Byzantine age. I also have a little note there: Neoplatonism, dualism, material world, a realm of depth, asceticism, sacred versus secular. Just notes. Right here is the Byzantine icons and Boethius. And right here we have the worst year to be alive was the total darkness of 536. Then there's more Middle Ages in between. Okay. Then in the Middle Ages, I've got Franciscans and Dominicans, Aristotle's philosophies rediscovered, Francis of Assisi, appreciation of the individual worth and dignity, Thomas Aquinas. There's a right there, I can't quite read it out, but Giotto's painting, it's Incarnational Theology, and it's another painting by Friar Angelico. John Wycliffe. Here. Okay. Next page has, sorry, it's hard to read when I'm looking at the camera. Paracelsus, Marsilio Ficino, Humans Must Rule Over Matter, Leonardo da Vinci, and some works of Leonardo da Vinci. And then there's Thomas Cranmer's Plain Speech, Martin Luther, William Gilbert, John Calvin, Giordano Bruno, Van Helmont, William Gilbert, Nicholas Copernicus, interest in portraying nature, Michelangelo, is this in here? The Protestant Reformation, the sanctity of the ordinary life and work. Okay. This next page, nature is a great machine. And on this page right here, we've got, it's a Renaissance period followed by the Baroque period. That's if you consider the long Renaissance period. There's two different versions of that. This has different works. We have Descartes, Johannes Kepler, Francis Bacon, John Ray, Robert Boyle, Galileo, and then some of the works of art that we talked about are referenced right there also. Next page, Pascal, Leibniz, Lemery, John Locke, Roger Coates, John Vermeer, and some of the art from Rembrandt, Better Image of God, Abraham Crowley's Poet of Natural Philosophy. Okay. The same period of nature as a great machine, Newton, Voltaire, Linnaeus, George Buffon, and it's the beginnings of the Enlightenment, I think. Let's see, we started that. Oh, the Enlightenment's already listed here starting earlier. David Hume, the Enlightenment, Immanuel Kant is born, and Jean Antoine's Nature as Property. Next page has Lamarck and Simon de Laplace, Man is a Machine, Les Maîtres. It's a neoclassical period, part of the Enlightenment. Thomas Ginsborough, Humans Control Nature. Okay, now on this page we've got Georges Cuvier. Okay. Then the neoclassical Enlightenment, David Hume, I went and put him with his, where he died, just so we know his period of influence. Okay, here's the first page with the breakup of the upper floor from the lower floor, Romanticism, Empiricism, and the moral order versus the natural order being broken up, continental tradition and philosophy versus analytic tradition, rational truth emphasized versus imaginative truths emphasized, and Kantian influence leads to this truth is divided period. Got William Blake, One Master Plan, Hegel, John Stuart Mill, Michael Faraday, Soren Kierkegaard, and then some of the art, Francis Goya, and The Heavens Are Closed by Michael Gambino. That's all in pink, which is realism, and then the highlighted yellow, poet Samuel Coleridge, poet Williams Wordsworth, Caspar Frederick. Next page, Romanticism continues, Thomas Campbell, and I've got Huxley and Hegel. And in the middle here also there's Madame Blavatsky and Clerk Maxwell, Soren Kierkegaard's Existentialism, and Hertz. And some of the art there that's listed out is Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre, Biblical Realism, Gustave Courbet, Realism, Jean Francis Milot, The Sower, and William Holman Hunt, a pre-Raphaelite. Okay. Then we go on the next page. We have Romanticism, Luminism, Symbolism. There's overlap, and it's harder to show that overlap when you have a page for so much room. And then the Karl Marx, John Ruskin, a pre-Raphaelite, Charles Darwin, his Natural Selection, David Hilbert, and George Cantor. In green here we got the pre-Raphaelites, and Gustave Flaubert, Madame Bovary, who's got a naturalist view, and Impressionism in pink here. Okay, on this side, James Whistler's Impressionist art, Symphony in White, and Debussy's Impressionist music. Okay. Next page, we've got Luminism, Symbolism, John Kensel, okay, Edward Monet, and Emily Zola, Humans are Animals and Nothing More. See, analytic tradition, okay, continental tradition continues, Romanticism, Luminism, Symbolism overlapping, John Stuart Mill's death, Impressionist Claude Monet's Regatta, Empiricism, and Impressionism. Okay. Keep going here, and we got Bertrand Russell, where his death in all the way to 1970. Richard Wagner, and then in the pink here we got Monet, The Railway, Edward Degas, Ballet Rehearsal, Impressionist music, and got some others listed there. Okay, next page, Luminism. It's Symbolism by Arnold Böcklin, Luminism, Sanford Robinson Gifford. Continuing. Continental tradition, analytic tradition. Okay. Realism with William Leibel, The Women in the Village, Impressionism. Next page, Early Expressionism. It's Paul Gauguin and Van Gogh. Niels Bohr is a scientist listed there. Edward Degas, Ballerina, and Lady with a Fan. It's a fragmented worldview. Okay. Then we've got Martin Heidegger, Existentialism, Madame Blavatsky. That's their periods when they lived. Schrodinger's listed here. Christian realism, like Henry O. Tanner. Then on this page we've got Symbolism from Carlos Schwab, and Camille and Picasso, Impressionist, Camille, Picasso, The Boulevard. Okay. Sorry, I can't read everything. It smudged a little bit when I was highlighting. Okay, and then we go to next page here, Heisenberg, and we've got some realism, Anton Chekhov, Jack London is listed here, and maybe under literary naturalism. And there's also literary naturalism right here. I didn't actually highlight any of the literary naturalists because I ran out of colors. Okay. Einstein, his theory of relativity. Jean-Paul Sartre, existentialism. Cubism. Picasso. It's also a period of rationalism here. Expressionism. Religious expressionism. Franz Marc. Here we got some more Cubism and Futurism and Cubism from some others listed. Okay. Then we go to Expressionism and Surrealism on the top. There's Ernst Kirchner and Giorgio de Chirico and Surrealism. At the bottom here we got Musical Modernism. Igor Stravinsky composed The Rite of Spring. Secularism. Music as Math. Edgar Master's Literary Naturalism. Marcel Duchamp's Anti-Art. Rationalism on the bottom. This line right here is continuing throughout because it's upper and lower. Put those in. Robert Wine's Expressionism in Film. Eric Mendelsohn, Expressionist Architecture. Otto Barting's Expressionist Architecture. And they've got Paul Klee and Ulysses. I didn't know exactly where they fall. Schoenberg's Composed by Numbers. Serialism here. Logical Positivism is a philosophy in the period here. Surrealism, Expressionism. Vasily Kahn, Bimorphic Abstraction. Hermann Hesse, Drugs as a Aid to Transcendence. It's the Frankfurt School, the Marxist School. I've got it listed there. The International Style, listed. Rationalism. Theodore Dreisner, Walter Gropius. Okay. Then the next page here is D.H. Lawrence, William Faulkner, Abstract Expressionism here at the top. Ernest Hemingway at the bottom on Rationalism. Geometric Abstraction listed here. Then continuing the Surrealism and Abstract Expressionism, which overlaps a little bit. Salvador Dali, Giovanni Gentile, Philosopher of Fascism. George Roche, Religious Expressionism. This is a period of Freud. Rationalism. Surrealism, some more. Mark Beckham's Expressionism. Okay. Continuing Action Painting. Arshile Gorky, Abstract Expressionism. Oliver Messier's Christian Modernism. And some more action painting. Here's Jackson Pollock's. Postmodernism starting kicking in there. Okay. Then we've got John Gray. Joan Miro's Abstract Expressionism. And more action painting. And then John Cage, Silence and Music. Postmodernism. Then I got some Mark Rothko's Abstract Expressionism. Watson and Crick's Discovery of DNA is listed here. Logical Positivism. Abstract Expressionism continuing. Ad Reinhardt. Monochromatic Mystical Abstract Expressionism. J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Kent Nolan's Materialism. Mies van der Rohe's International Style, Logical Positivism. And then we have Deconstructionism. Alan Watts, Drugs and Transcendence. Okay, and then Materialism Painting. Ellsworth Kelly's Minimalist Analytic Philosophy. Minimalism. It's Linguistic Analysis listed. Okay, some more Deconstructionism. Pop Art. This is Roy Lichtenstein's Pop Art. Ruber Rauschenberg's Deconstructionist Painting. Minimalist Donald Judd. And Materialism by Carl Andre. And Postmodernism. Andy Warhol. Robert Smithson. Franz Kafka. Okay. Continuing the Deconstructionism period here. Mark Rothko's Silence of God. Soul Minimalism. ABC Art. Minimalism. Frank Stella's Materialism. Postmodernism, Deconstruction, Christo and Jean-Claude with Land Art. Okay. End of Jean-Paul Sartre. Okay. Then we got Kerma's Deconstructionist Architecture. Postmodernism. Holy Minimalism here on the bottom. Okay. Continuing to Frank Gerke, David Sal, Carl Bomer. Postmodern with Christian abstraction, as well as Deconstructionist painting and Deconstructionist art. John Taveron's Song of Athene, Holy Minimalism. Okay. And the last entry is Makoto Fujimura's Christian Abstraction.